it is another Thursday. It's not 9 o'clock yet, but we're coming at you a little early today, and this is Knockouts and Three Counts. And I don't know about you two, Jordan and Corey, but, bro, I'm looking forward to this weekend with AEW Revolution and the UFC going this weekend. So I figured, when's a better time to bring our buddy Monteasy back, since you're going to be part of the AEW Fan Fest that they got going down there, the first live music event for AEW, man. So long time no see. How the hell are you, man?
Man, life is good, brother. Good to see you guys again. All is on the up and up, man. Just on the grind, as you see. Shout out to AEW for acknowledging your boy. Me and Josiah Williams, Stone Cold, and me, the Undertaker. So, we are going to rock the house. We're going to rock the house that night, and and I call Mega the Ric Flair this. So we all it's all love, and I'm glad to be able to to be able to do this. It's been a long journey, man. I've been there since 2014, and to get your roses at different times of your career when you've been working hard, it means the world, man. If AEW to acknowledge that and let me be one of the parts to rock the house, it means the world to me. So I'm looking forward to today a lot.
I can imagine, man. I mean, with that project, I know Mega was telling me about it a little bit before they were coming out with it, man. And you look down the list of all the talent that they got on that thing, man. What a hell of a package you guys put together. And I mean, at this point, a lot of people are already probably familiar with some of your work if they realize who it is when you listen to names like Sammy Guevara. We talked about the Brian Cage one before the last time you had come on. And at this point, like you said, with you being around and then to get to be part of that with AEW, especially as we saw last night on Dynamite, they're about to enter a whole new chapter. I mean, it's got to be a damn good time to be part of such a project like that, huh?
Yeah, shout out to them for doing it, and I want to give a big shout out to Cody Rhodes too, who recently quotation left the company quotation because he funded the project. A lot of people don't know that he funded this project to get started. It came out of his pocket at first. So for him to have that belief and him to be an executive producer on this project, and for Mikey to hit us all up, and let us have creative reign on this project. He didn't step in on anything. He let us do what we do. He let us pick our own producers. He let us pick our own features. Anyone we wanted to bring on outside of who he appointed to have on the track, we were able to have creative freedom. So shout out to Mikey for that, man. I'm glad AEW is with the times of what's going on in the culture. Hip hop is one of the top selling genres in the world, genres of music, and it is very much appreciated that he saw that and he let us do it the way that we wanted to do it. And I'm glad AEW is promoting. And one thing I'm glad about too is I'm glad that people are getting opportunities. People are familiar with me. They're familiar with Mega Ran. They're familiar with Maya. But to see other artists get opportunities that that you might not have heard of before or has been working very hard to get those opportunities, I'm very glad that everybody's getting a piece of the pie and there's room at the table for everyone. I kind of call myself at this point kind of like a vanguard of the industry. A lot of people know who I am. I reach out to a lot of wrestling rap artists, try to work with them, and whatever I can help them, I always try to do that because we're all one big unit. And there's still a lot of work to be done in this. So for this to even be the start of it, it's great. I'm glad to step forward. If there's anything I can do to even get involved more to help this grow, I definitely am looking forward to doing that in the future.
You hit the nail on the head. Go ahead, Corey. My bad.
No, you're fine. The nature of doing these over the internet, but that's the whole thing, right? Is one of the biggest things in the music industry is getting your initial foot in the door somewhere where you will get that audience that will be somebody that hasn't maybe followed you throughout your initial early career, and to be able to get that spotlight that AEW is providing to a lot of those guys, man. There's something to be said about that. You can't just get that out of nowhere. That's a big thing they're doing for sure.
J-Bone, I know you're the hip hop guy, man, bro. So I know you got plenty of the questions for him.
I got a lot of questions, man. First and foremost, congratulations on the project, man. How was it? The initial thought process, and when you were first approached with this project, What were your thoughts on that? Something of this magnitude, because there's some heavy hitters on this project, including Bootsy Collins. Like that's pretty damn big.
Absolutely, man. For all the proceeds of the CDs that everybody bought, either the first 300 that came with the poster or after, all those proceeds go to the Bootsy Collins Foundation, and for that to be the starting promotional point that is going to something for a good cause really gave us the extra incentive to really go hard on this. You know, it gave us the incentive to really push and to go forward and to really give our best efforts to this record, because there's a lot riding behind it. And then, there's a lot behind this, because I love to see the people's happiness when they really get an opportunity to see what they had to do on the project. People's songs are being played on arenas for the first time, and that feeling that they get. I remember when I very first had my first song appear on TV years ago, how I felt. You know what I mean? I never want to lose that feeling. I believe in calling myself like the Lil Wayne of wrestling hip. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be on every song, dude. Like, that's just the way that I believe it. You know what I mean? That's what I coined myself. Like, I'm going to be on every feature. I'd rather have you tired of me than me not live to my potential. So, you know what I mean? I'd rather have that. And to be able to have 3 songs on project, the song I did with Josiah Williams for Mark Henry, the song I did with my man Anthony King, who I call my T-Pain of wrestling hip hop, that sings the hook on that song, and Righteous. Shout out to Righteous Reg and Grapsity and what they're doing for the Jade record. And to be able to do the Nyla Rose song, where everybody's like, man, why don't you have a verse on that song? Because it's about giving back, and there's so many people that could have had an opportunity to get a verse on that song. So I just did the hook and picked 3 other guys to get their verses off. I don't need to be, what I mean? I'll do the hook. You guys kill it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be able to give everyone a shot and a chance to be a part of history, because I know how rare this is. But the great thing is, it's volume 1. So there's going to be more. There's going to be more of these. There's going to be more where the wrestlers, the rappers switch up, and they end up getting different wrestlers this time instead of the ones that was before. So it's going to switch up, and people are going to get different people. And then there's going to be more wrestlers. And, now there's going to be more opportunities. There's going to be more things going on for more people to grow. And, too, by next year, there's going to be more, possibly more, with Tony's talking about the diversity, more African-American wrestlers that are on the bill that he signed, that we can do more songs about, and more people, and they can get involved. So, there's a lot behind it, man. J-Bone, I'm very, very proud of this, to be able to say I'm a part of this. We all grew up on the WWF aggression and forcible entry and all that stuff.
I still have forcible entry on CD, bro.
I still got them too. Dog, I used to be a 13-year-old kid, 8th grade. I used to take my radios, the ones that come with the CD players, the big boomboxes, shows how old we are now. And I used to listen to Danger at the Door from D'Lo Brown like 20 times in a row. Like I used to listen to that song like 20 times. And I was like, what I was doing. You know what I mean? Man, I swear I didn't know subconsciously what I was doing, but man, it was helping me do what I do now. So that's a fact.
It's one of those things that you don't really realize the magnitude of how much music plays into, especially professional wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, imagine professional wrestling with no entrance music, dude. That's huge.
Completely agree, man. We got Michael in the comments. He said, Teasy, do you know Dwayne The Rock Ramos? If not, DM me. I'll say 2 words, Oprah Winfrey.
Now look, man, I got one more question. I don't want to shed any negative light to this positive project, but doing my research, I had to dig deep, and I did see that there is an artist on there that you did have some past issues with by the name of Rated R. Is there still any type of issues with that particular person? If you care to shed any light on that particular situation?
Who are you talking about?
Rated R.
Yeah,
Who?
You're talking that diss track, right?
I have no idea. I have no idea who you're talking about.
Enough
that's
said.
where he's from.
Jay-Z.
Enough said. You answered.
Jay-Z don't respond to PD Crack, bro.
Hey,
bro.
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. I'm with it.
Dog. I'm with it. I feel it. All right, that's where he's from. A fellow guy, and I excuse me for not saying this at the front. Michael checking us out, also part of the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network. Shout out to Freddie Henderson and all those guys over there on Super Bowl Row and all that good shit. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, we're on the way to WrestleMania if you want some cool shit, Anyways, but now that we're back to business, that brings up as good a question as any.
So listen, man, I will say this. Let me say this, right? I'm the type of dude, man, I don't have any problems or any issues with no man in this world that is that serious. Rather some rap beef or some personal beef or whatever. I wish everyone the greatest of success. And right now, I have the biggest performance of my life coming up, and I'm not concerned with now. Rap competition is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing that I've been in plenty of rap competition battles back in the day. That stuff is cool. But as far as serious problems, to avoid serious problems, because of certain things that can be said on either end, or certain things that was said that I will say this. I wish the best of luck to him and all that he's doing. You know what I mean? And I wish him the best in his career. That's it.
Hey, respect.
Grown man shit right there. Hell yeah, respect for that.
All right. Now, that brings me to a good question. Now, I didn't know before you came on there, you shed a little light on this project and that Cody was the original hand behind it. So let me ask you, what are your thoughts on Cody, quote unquote, leaving AEW? Do you think he's going to show back up in the WWE, or do you think the other rumors that everybody's throwing around, like now that Ring of Honor's back, what if Cody shows up as a figurehead? I mean, where do you think we see Cody Rhodes next?
If I had to choose, I would say the latter. I think the getting ROH, and if there is a serious issue between them two, it's something that could be, us as grown men. A lot of times, man, as entertainers, we leave ego first. Sometimes we all, it is a business that is based on getting your worth. You have to fight for your worth. If it is for real, Cody was probably fighting for his worth that he felt. Tony disagreed, and they probably had to stand still on business. If it is something that Cody knew what was going on and told behind the scenes, and then this becomes the magical plan, that's a great way of marketing and a great way to do it. This gives Cody a chance to run something else, not have Tony as much involved in what he's doing outside of him running his own show. So, that could be a chance for, all I know is that I see Cody is at his happiest when it's like his dad, when they have some kind of booking power or something to do with being involved behind the scenes and not having the control taken from them, because that's kind of like how the Rhodes family were. They excelled when they were booking, being behind the scenes, helping. I do know from behind the scenes that what I do know is that Cody did help a lot with the women in AEW. Rhodes was the one who co-signed Sammy Guevara's theme. He was the one that did it.
That's dope.
Sammy didn't know. Sammy didn't know if that was going to be the song or not. So he texted to Cody right before the first night of their match. Cody said, "This is a hit. Keep it." And he's the one who co-signed the record. So thank you to Cody Rhodes for me for co-signing my record that I did for Sammy. Sammy
froze up.
He didn't know.
Hold on.
And Cody knew. So, Cody, I do think everything will eventually work out. I do think that the thing is that sometimes in business, have you ever been in a conversation with your homeboys? You're talking business and you guys just can't agree. But you come back at it later, you come back 6 months later, and you guys are personal sometimes in business. Things are said, you can't agree. And then you guys revisit the conversation later and you come to something, because Tony will see how valuable Cody is. This how valuable Tony is to him. And they'll come back later. It happens in business all the time. Just that in wrestling, everybody act like it's just public. Yeah. So and everybody act like this doesn't happen all the time. It happens all the time in business.
Not to mention, to go off of what you said, like Cody say he does go somewhere else, whether that's to New Japan, whether that's if he ends up heading up the Ring of Honor thing or whatever it is, the one thing that no one can ever take away when it comes to Cody is the fact that Cody was a big integral part in AEW getting started. So like you said, even if he does decide to go out and go do whatever it is, or come back in the role, like we just said, with the whole Ring of Honor thing, you know, Cody's stake in AEW and in the groundwork of AEW is going to be cemented whether he's there or not. So it makes it all the more interesting to kind of see where he ends up, because I mean, I tell you, out of all the people that you would think, you know, because you know, with it being a new company, eventually you're going to have people that are going to leave, you know, for other places. And I, for one, at least would have never thought Cody was the first one to go.
Nah,
that's just me.
No, I didn't. I wouldn't think that either. But at the same time, if I'm working a job and I'm one of the main pieces of this job being invented, and you bring in other people, other presidents that might have more qualifications than me, as in CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, let's say. They're bigger stars, they're bigger resumes than you. But you're a part of the founding part of the company, and your worth is more than what you are in the ring. You're doing behind the scenes, you're helping the women, you're helping the music department, you're helping book talent, you're helping a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna feel like my worth is just as much as theirs. Because I'm actually doing more than them, but just pay me accordingly to what I feel like I do in this, because I'm doing stuff outside of my job. And you know, I feel like I'm an intricate part of this starting, you know, and along with Kenny and the Young Bucks and everybody who had their part in it. So Jericho and whoever else.
I completely agree, man.
Yes, I'm
my bad.
slighted if I feel like I'm financially not. If this is for real,
that's what I'm saying. I'm not putting the jury out on that yet.
Compensated. Yeah.
Me neither. I'm not either. In my eyes,
either.
At least, it really seems like this whole Ring of Honor thing.
You know, if one thing,
oh, my bad. Must have been a little bit of lag.
Yeah. In my eyes, though, it really seems like this whole Ring of Honor thing really plays into the best possible scenario. I mean, if there was any beef behind the scenes or whatever the case be, even if it is just a disagreement between business partners, what better way to help out and still continue to do your thing, continue to build the brand that you've done so much work for, but now under technically a different label, but with the way that the whole thing had played out, it's kind of looking like it's going to become a second leg of AEW. So it's really a win-win in both scenarios in my eyes.
And who better to have a brainchild of AEW over in Ring of Honor, kind of bouncing things back and forth, man. I don't see bad business coming of that at all, to be honest.
Well, especially when you think about the names that are out there, because it's also been rumored that they're talking about that William Regal and Samoa Joe could come over there for that kind of stuff too. So, I mean, dude, the possibilities are endless where we're at in the space that we're in wrestling. But another thing that I'm looking forward to is all of us at least me, I'm hoping TZ will probably be down there too, but I'm headed down to Dallas for WrestleMania here soon. And dude, I saw one hell of a match get popped up for the Culture show, and that's our homie and past guest of the show, Shane Taylor and Shane Taylor Promotions, against the Hitmakers, formerly known as Hit Row, at GCW for the Culture. So 2 questions. Number one, when you do these different themes and stuff, like, how do you come up with the vibe for like a song like the one you did for Shane? And second of all, where do you want to see STP end up now that Ring of Honor's talent are all free?
Good question. Questions. First thing is, man, I've had this. It's really simple, but it's difficult when you first get started. All you really have to do is just look at the person, their character, and speak an extension of who they are. I used to have to go watch matches of people. Now I kind of just go off how they look, how they take their promo pictures. They tell me their move set, and I kind of just go off how they look, because I see their appearance, how they, you know what I mean, how they how they work, and it's easier for me to make a song about that person. It's like I've had the same formula that has never changed. It's easily looking at the wrestler, look at what they do, and then make the music an extension of how they wrestle and how their appearance is. So if they happen to be more colorful and she's a female, you're gonna make something a little bit more lighter and brighter for her. If the guy's more dark, more heelish, Kevin Owens type, don't really smile much, really, you know what I mean, really serious, you want to make something darker and edgier. So it's just, it's all just looking at their body language and their personality. As in, like Shane, when I made the very first one for him, he called me. Here's the true fact: Shane co-wrote that record. It wasn't all me. He co-wrote that. So I'm gonna give him his writer's credit because that done is what I like, but I fight this how he wrote that whole chorus. He wrote that. I did my verses. So a lot of wrestlers have different ideas. A lot of wrestlers have different ideas. A lot of times I'm doing 100% of the writing. Sometimes some guys have some ideas and want me just to expound from the ideas. So it's really simple, man. And for me, it is at this point because I have my own formula. And as far as what was the other question? I apologize.
The other question is, where would you like to see Shane and Shane Taylor Promotions end up?
Oh man, they would be great in AEW. They'd be a great AEW Ring of Honor connection. They definitely would be great there because that would bring something different to AEW. That would bring something that is very much needed in the demographic. And there's a lot that you could build off that with the actual stable that's together instead of only criticism I've ever had of AEW is that sometimes that it's like they kind of compile teams together and they don't really have chemistry like that. So that's the only criticism I've ever had of them. So if they could bring a natural group that's together, that travels together, that works together, and you could bring those guys there and have them in rivalries, you can have, you know what I mean, O'Shea and Khan and the Moses.
Past guests of the show too.
And if they can really get their work in, there's a lot of work there. There's a lot of work there. And if they do a trios belt, you know what I mean? That's great for them. So there's always work. There's always work there for them as a team. You know what I mean? So that's what I believe. I believe they'll be there. They'll eventually be there. I believe that STP will eventually be in AEW because they're going to need that diversity. That brings a great diversity to that company.
Well, I agree completely.
Overlooked them to this point, to be honest. I can't believe they're not there already.
They had a solid following too. When they unfortunately had their timing come to an abrupt end, I guess at Ring of Honor. So it's not like if they did make a return splash when they do make their big debut coming back that they wouldn't have that built-in anticipation already going for them. So
well, especially with them out here all over the place, Mania weekend and all that. I mean, could you think of just off the top of the hat, you talk trios titles and all those things. Could you imagine STP versus the House of Black right now? God damn, that's going to be a banger. And you already got Khan, who's a fellow past guest of the show that, he's already made his debut in AEW on Dark and all that stuff too. So they've already kind of got that foot in the door. So I'm 100% with you. I would love to see them in AEW, and like we've mentioned a couple times with the Ring of Honor thing now it's already basically wrote in. You could just have them show up, bust in, and be like, look,
yeah,
and have them come in from the Ring of Honor side, right? I mean, and it wouldn't be too far out the way.
So many possibilities with it, man. The Briscoes. There's just so many ways you can go with that whole mesh of talent.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's going to be good. There's a lot of tag teams that can intertwine with each other that really needs to look.
What about
if they and they could be a good dynamic, man.
Yeah.
Not to mention the one that nobody's even mentioned yet. Now that we've got this out the way, now there's no more excuses to why FTR can't face the Briscoes. I want to see that shit happen. I'm just saying. So I feel like that match is going to be some of the best tag team wrestling you're going to see anywhere, dude. And the shit talking is going to be just as good as what we see in the ring.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm here for it. That's a match.
They're going to mean everything they say, bro.
You know it. Dude, look when they showed up at Ring of Honor, dude. When they showed up at Ring of Honor, they were shit. They came in fist blazing. Hey, everybody who's joining the stream, we appreciate you. Drop a comment if you got any questions for Teasy. Like I said, we've been talking the big AEW music event that's going down this weekend for AEW Revolution, all that good stuff. Before I get your thoughts on the AEW Revolution pay-per-view and who you'd like to see win, I got to ask you, man, since we all know you're part of the Swerve City Podcast alongside Shane Swerve Strickland, I would love to know, now that he's kind of making his mark at Defy, New Japan, showing up all over the place, where would you like to see, where in the crystal ball, if Monteasy got to pick, where would you like to see Swerve end up?
Oh man, Swerve is, me and Swerve are like unison spirits in this, man. We're kind of like nomads, man. I'd like to see all of us. We're like the traveling band. So sometimes we're not fit for one area. Sometimes we're fit for all areas. And I think that him going around New Japan, AEW, Defy, him going around different spots would be the best for him and his brand, because it would be he could be a universal star. I think we've only had a few people that are doing that right now, and I think that if he's kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none, in and out different promotions, I think that'll be fire for him, because it'll give him the freedom that he needs. Like we're a rap group, so it's all about freedom. That's the thing that we put our group on creative freedom. And I think the freer he is, the more you're able to see his creativity go out anyway, especially since I think he's his best as a solo act anyway. That's how I feel.
I can't argue that, dude. I loved Hit Row, but I've said for years, since he was doing stuff with Evolve when we got to work with them back in the day, dude, like, I have ever had nothing but good things to say. I liked what he was doing in MLW, and I agree with you 100%. Even with just the first promo that he cut when they were over there at Defy with the whole Nick Wayne thing, dude, I'm really interested to see how all that plays out. But with all that being said, with all that being said, with where Swerve's going and all those things, like we mentioned, we got AEW Revolution coming this weekend. But before I ask you about that, what are your thoughts on his damn pig, man? He showed us a picture of that pig when we were in Florida, when I was getting tattooed by past guest of the show, Lindsay Snow, and that thing has fucking grew, man. Good Lord.
Listen, that pig name is Blanket. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about that pig. Blanket, listen to me. I challenge you to a one-on-one match at Revolution. Me versus that pig. That pig, arch enemy. That pig, that pig and me have a very, very interesting relationship. When I go over to Swerve's crib, that pig, he comes and shows me love. The last time I was over there, he charged at me. I take him outside when Swerve's like sleep, and I'm up and I stay at his crib sometimes. I get up, I feed him snacks, and he still treats me bad. And there's only so much a grown man's gonna take before he fires back.
The challenge has been laid out.
With the pig.
I've done everything that I could for Blanket. Blanket comes to me, I pat him, I do everything that I can for him, and it's not enough. And he's eventually had me turn and heel. I'm tired. I'm tired of this. I'm healed. That's it. I'm healed. So
he's hit the breaking point. Damn it.
Or Double or Nothing, or WrestleMania. I don't care. Hell, I'll make him the music to get his ass whooped to. I don't care. I want the pig at the main event at one of these events.
You got mad heat on the pig, man.
Pig. That's what I want.
Mad heat on the pig.
No, I'm not making no jokes about cooking them and pork sandwiches. I'm not making no jokes about that. I could, but I'm not going to do it. I love them. I just want to
teach them a lesson.
Just need some respect. It's got to be a two-way street. Oh shit!
Yeah, a couple uppercuts to the ribs. We good.
Hey, man, that'll do you.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to our boy Devin McKenzie in the comments. He's got a question for you. He said, what kind of equipment does Teasy use to make beats, and who are your top 3 beat makers of all time?
Oh, three top beat makers of all time?
Yep.
Oh. Well, most of the time when I do produce beats, I use a program called Reasons or Fruity Loops a lot of times, either or. Reasons is usually like a sample, like kind of like how Kanye West does, sampling beats, old songs, putting them in samples, chopping up sample stuff. Let's say you chop up like Shaka Khan's voice for Ain't Nobody and you use her voice in the song. Or like Through the Wire, how Kanye West had Through the Wire. That's a program you would use for that kind of stuff. And then Fruity Loops is for more, sounds and beat packs and stuff like that you put together. So it depends. A lot of times I'm like a P. Diddy. I'm not really the hands-on guy, but I know what they're doing. And I can kind of just tell them what the sounds that I'm looking for through the software. Not necessarily the hands-on guy, but I'm more of the guy that's telling them how I want the sound, because I know it in my head. I see it, but I just can't formulate it on the computer. So that's how normally I produce. But kind of like the way Diddy does, Eminem does that. So that's my way. I'm more of an auditory producer than more of the technical side. Beat makers, top 3 beat makers, like real beat makers, not guys who just assist, guys who really are in the. Dr. Dre is one. Dr. Dre can formulate a damn song like you wouldn't believe. I've heard so many stories and just seen him at work. Dr. Dre is a phenomenal guy. He's a phenomenal producer. If we're just talking the hip hop side, yeah, that's right, Devin. Yeah, Fruity Loops is a ninth wonder. Yeah, that's a ninth wonder thing. Good move, bro. Good move, bro. You know what you're talking about. Let's see who else. As crazy as he is, Kanye, man. Kanye is amazing. He's a genius. He's out there, and I love him. But he's out there. And stop sending flowers to that woman Kim, man. You're looking kind of crazy out here, bro. But
why does that new girl look like him though?
She does. I was gonna say that.
She does though. Just
does.
Fam. Let me tell you something though. Let me tell you something though. He ain't missed yet, and I'll take her in a heartbeat. I'll take that one. That one now. Yeah, I'll take that.
You ain't lying, man.
She bad,
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you, but it was just funny as hell that she looks just like her, though.
Yeah.
All I know is that if he procreates with this woman, all them kids gonna look alike.
Man, Kanye's down bad right now. That's all I know. He is down
at least
bad.
I would say.
Yeah.
Man, God bless that dude, man. God bless his soul, bro. God bless his soul, man. But I would say third, I gotta say, I think my favorite producer it'd be Pharrell Williams. Me and Pharrell can make some fire.
Pharrell's dope. Pharrell is
the most diverse. He's the most diverse. Pharrell's guaranteed to make a song that everybody's gonna like, even if they don't listen to rap.
Yeah.
I can't even argue that, dude. I've been a fan of so many of his songs over the years, and then when you find out all the songs that he's had a hand in over the years, dude, Pharrell is a fucking monster. But I gotta ask you, since we talked about that event is leading into AEW Revolution, I figured you want to help us make some picks for AEW Revolution real quick?
Hey, man, I got no horse in the race. Let's get it.
Hell yeah. Well, I got the match card pulled up, so obviously I don't know what order these matches are going to be in. This is just the what they got them on here. First off, you said you are on the song about this lady, Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti. So how are you feeling about that? You think Jade keeps the TBS title?
Yes, my wife keeps her belt.
You know, if she had as many husbands as guys say that she's his wife. Ah, damn, man, she's got a lot of husbands. I bet.
Jade, Hey,
Yeah.
Jay, all I'm gonna say is just respectfully. When I was asked who I wanted to make a song for first, guess who was first? Respectfully.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. I mean, I am fully enthralled and entertained myself, sir. So I've got no objections there. Your eyes are clearly working.
Your descriptive word being enthralled was great, Kyle. I just want to throw that
See,
out
you
there.
know, I pulled my shit out the thesaurus, man. I pull it out the thesaurus, bro.
Hey,
like
man,
I say,
if you want to wrap up everything that you have that is appropriate, not appropriate, nice, not nice, or in any other way, all you got to say is respectfully, and that'll cover.
I mean,
Yeah.
it covered the gamut.
Respect.
See, I ain't mad at it, but I'm with you. I think Jade is definitely keeping the belt on this one. I don't see Ty being the one to take it off her. Jade's a fucking powerhouse. I don't know what else to say. I'm going with Jade on this one.
You're gonna have to build somebody really, really fire to take the belt off her. It's got to be somebody that really matters to take the belt off her.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be for a long time.
That's exactly going to be my pick. Because of that reason, it's going to have to be like they're going to have to build some initial huge rivalry or something like that. It's not just going to be like some.
The only way I could see right now
something.
is if you bring in some big name. You know, this is an option, but I hope it doesn't happen for a long time. Now, I hope she doesn't have as long a streak as Goldberg does, because that shit got weird after a while. But at the same time, I think it would be really interesting to see if maybe when they start to bring more names in now that they have the ROH banner over there. You know, it'd be cool to see some of those ROH girls come in there and fight with her too. But to be honest with you, the only one even over there that I remember that was big enough to really give her a problem would have been like Max the Impaler, man. That would have been a hell of a weird matchup, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be a hell of a matchup. Beauty and the Beast for real.
Right.
Well, speaking of Beauty and the Beast, I might need to go see the good doctor, man, because my fucking wisdom teeth have been killing me, bro. But the next match that we've got on the card, I mean, Dr. Britt Baker, if you hear this, I will come in the chair tomorrow. But Britt Baker versus our friend Thunder Rosa, who we got to sponsor one of their shows, Mission Pro, down there in Texas when our buddy Dave LaGreca got beat up. So I'm going to have to see how Texas plays out. But I'm looking forward to this one. So how do you see this one going, Teasy?
I say the doctor keeps it, man. I don't see it's another one. They built two strong heels in that company for women with the belts. It's going to take some real important people to beat either one of them.
I don't think Thunder Rosa's got a chance to?
I think she'll get as close as she can get, but I don't see Britt losing. And I'm gonna proclaim something else too when we get to another certain matchup and the reason why I picked this person. But let's continue.
All right, Devin says triple threat match: TZ versus Blanket versus me in a Jade marriage license ladder match. What the fuck?
Oh, now that's some fantasy booking right there.
A pig climbing a ladder. Now that would be some shit the motherfuckers would pay for pay-per-view. Hot damn. Right. Oh my God.
Hey man, I see you at WrestleMania, brother. Book it.
Hey, we're gonna be in Dallas, dog. Like I said, we'll have to link up and make sure we get you on that vlog there, dude. I gotta see if I'm gonna even survive WrestleMania week, because I found out I'm supposed to be working out with PCO down there, and I mean that guy likes to electrocute people and shit. So if I don't come back from WrestleMania, you gotta
bless your soul, brother. It won't me.
He said it won't be me. That's cold-blooded. So I know who I'm not calling if I get electrocuted.
So as for my pick, kind of contrary to the Jade.
Hey man, a wise man once said, brother, know your role, brother.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Contrary to the Jade match, right? How I had noted that I think it would take a bigger star to even kind of contend for the belt. I think that's kind of what we're seeing in the Thunder Rosa matchup with DMD. It is a potential. She is a big enough star that there is the potential that she'll at least be able to dethrone the current queen of AEW. But I don't think now's the time necessarily, but I do think that there's potential for follow up in the matchup, I guess you could say.
I can't argue that. J-Bone, where are you at?
I agree with Corey, man. I just don't think it's not there yet. They put too much time, too much work into that, so it's not coming yet. It may not come for a long time, to be honest, but just not yet. It's going to be a hell of a match, I'll tell you that. That's probably going to be one of the better matches of the night, and it's going to be.
Oh, dude! After they had that lights out match,
yes, dude.
Come
to
on,
follow up something like that, it's going to be like a lot of false finishes, I think, and a lot of like, oh shit, she's about to do it, and it just don't happen. So that's gonna be a good one, though.
Well, I'm gonna go against the grain. Damn it! I kind of off of what Corey said. I'm gonna say Thunder Rosa is gonna get the belt. Now, I won't be shocked if the Good Doctor keeps it, but I'm gonna go with Thunder Rosa in this one because I don't know, something in the air. I feel like with that Jamie Hayter stuff and all that, and now that she's got Mercedes Martinez in her corner after they jumped her, I could see some tomfoolery of that. Well, since Devin's over here talking about ladder matches, man, who do you think's gonna get that Face of the Revolution ladder match? Who do you think's winning that one?
Keith Lee.
Me too.
Yeah,
100%.
I think it's Keith Lee. Strong debut, gets a strong win. His debut was a few weeks ago. It makes the most sense for him to win, man. It makes the most sense.
Not mad at that at all. Where are you guys at? Corey, J-Bone, you got a different pick?
I'm taking Keith Lee. I was going to say that in the first place, man. That's going to be a hell of a match. And that's where you're going to see a lot of that crazy style of Keith Lee, man. With that ladder involved and the way he flies around the ring as a big man, you're going to see a lot of that on Sunday. It's going to be dope.
Yeah,
all right, Corey, what about you?
Just because the simple fact he's making his AEW pay-per-view debut, I think with all the momentum and stuff with his debut just a couple weeks ago, it would only make sense to go that direction.
So I'm going Keith Lee on this one, but boy, I'm just glad that we're going to get to really see Keith Lee be Keith Lee now. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing that we saw a difference when he went to the main roster from what all of us saw it evolve. I mean, and, we talked about Taylor a little bit earlier on. If he comes to AEW, man, we could see the reformation of the Pretty Boy Killers. You got a whole nother team coming in this motherfucker. Oh, yeah. So I'm just saying, is there a surprise participant in that match? I thought it was supposed to be 6 people. It does have a to be determined on it, but I don't know if they filled all 6 spots now. I'm not sure because what I got on here, it's got Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, and then the other 2 were to be determined. So I'm not.
I think it's supposed to be Christian or Ethan Page.
Yeah, Ethan Page is in that. You're correct. Ethan Page was one of them. I can't remember the other name. It may still be anonymous. Now, with that being said, I think I've liked the different way that they've gotten the teams into this, but you've got the triple threat for the tag team titles. You got Jurassic Express, which you can check out our interviews with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus on this YouTube channel. And you've got versus Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks, dude. Holy shit. You talk about a triple threat tag team match. This takes me back to like when you were having the, this takes me back to when you used to have like the TLC matches, like the Dudleys, the Hardys, all that stuff. It's going to be a banger. You got 3 world-class tag team matches in that shit. And Devin, you might be right. He said, what if the to be determined person is Jeff Hardy?
That would be dope. I'd like to see that. Hey, who better, right? Who better?
I mean, he already said he's coming to AEW. So, I mean, but it all depends on where he's at on his 90-day thing, though.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know, but I'd like to see it because the last time I said the Hardys weren't showing up, I was there when they returned at WrestleMania, and I remember telling the kid in the robe in front of me, bro, they were just wrestling for the Ring of Honor titles the night before. I was like, I don't think they'll be back, and sure as shit did I look like a dummy.
Hey, isn't that the best though? Isn't that the best when you don't expect it? That's when it's at its best.
Dude, that shit was fire. I have no argument whatsoever with that, dude. We've also got, let's see, what else do we got on this card? You've also got the match that look, dude, not that I'm not looking forward to Hangman versus Adam Cole. This dog collar match, bro. Please tell me, what are your thoughts on, the MJF promo and what we saw Wednesday with him ripping his shirt apart with the picture of him and Punk and then just bloodying the shit out of Punk? what are your thoughts on the storytelling? Because, dude, they've got everybody hook, line, and sinker. Because they had everybody thinking MJF was a babyface for a minute, and boy, did he shut everybody down.
Okay, if history, I'm gonna say this: if history goes the way that these angles go, CM Punk's gonna win. If I'm Tony, I totally give MJF the victory. I think for one reason. Every wrestler has had a nemesis they just could not get over. They couldn't beat very well. Undertaker always struggled with Mick Foley. He always struggled with him. He might have beat him, but Mick Foley got some victories over him too. Brock Lesnar, Undertaker's real main rival is Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar always beat his ass when they wrestle. You know what I mean? There's always somebody that you just had that hump that you just couldn't get over or was tough. Like The Rock has more losses to Austin than you know what I mean? Than Austin has The Rock. So Austin was always that guy that just had the better of him that night. There's always, they need to build that at AEW where no matter how much CM Punk tries, this bastard just got my number. He just got my number. You have to build. CM Punk can't overcome everybody, even at this older age. Now, the feel-good thing would be to make CM Punk win. That's what everybody would expect. He was bloody last week. He gets the victory. But if MJF beats him clean, too, like, I beat him. There's nothing. CM Punk now has to come back from a deeper adversity in a rematch or something like that. Then it would make more sense. But for me, man, I would give it to MJF. I would make CM Punk actually have someone that has his number for the first time. And I think the young guy who took a photo with him, studied all his moves, felt disappointed when he left. There's a reason the understudy now has an advantage over the older guy now. So I would give it to MJF.
Okay, so I totally get where you're coming from with it. As far as the promos, man, did you guys notice? And I didn't even notice this at first glance, which is why, again, shout out to past guests of the show, Ryan McKinnell and Dave LaGreca, the homies from Busted Open. They pointed out a point that I didn't even notice at first. The part that MJF said at the end where he goes, the thing the devil was best at was being able to make everybody believe that he wasn't the devil. That was the exact same thing that CM Punk said word for word when he was in his feud with Raven when Raven poured alcohol down his throat.
Yeah.
So I love the storytelling of the shit, dude. I love the little nuances. That's like one of my biggest gripes in wrestling. So I was loving that. And then when they pointed that out and I put everything together, I'm like, oh shit. That makes it even, dude, that makes it even better. So I'm with you. I think this dog collar thing very well could steal the show. And I'm gonna go with Punk, but the only reason being because I just find it hard to see them have him lose twice in a row to somebody. But then again, I agree 100% with you with MJF because I mean I've said it. I don't know how many times you can check it out in the archives, but dude, MJF is the best heel in the damn business. But
correct.
I've said it every time it's been brought up on the show. Basically, I feel the best way to handle this whole situation is MJF to be the kryptonite, essentially, to CM Punk. And to your point, I mean, that's literally the best way you can handle it. He is potentially at least the future of your company. And for a long time being, to your point, Kyle, he's one of the best heels in the business right now. Why not? It makes more sense. You know, that's how I always make my wrestling picks is what makes more sense. And to me, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
What makes sense? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was going to agree with you guys anyway. This dude already has us right here. It's right there. We're already all.
Oh, dude,
right
he turned
there.
them all in one big circle.
Exactly. He's already swerved us once. It was believable, right? We believed it for a minute, and look what he did with it, dude. Genius. That's a mark of a heel genius right there. So get used to him because he's going to be around for a long time.
Hell yeah. Well, you know what else you got to get used to that's going to be around for a long time? That's Monteasy. I know you're getting to the end of your time. Got to go handle some business, man. So I appreciate.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Let's finish the picks. Finish the picks, man.
All right, cool. All right. All right, we're gonna get through the full card over here. Well, like I said, I'm gonna go against you on that one, but I wouldn't be shocked if MJF wins either because I'd love to see it too. Now, this match, even though it doesn't necessarily have any consequences on it, I just feel like we could see some cool shit out of it. You got Andrade El Idolo versus Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy versus Sting, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin, who put us all over Bleacher Report after the last interview we had with him. So shit's gonna get volatile. So, what are your thoughts on the 6-man, brother man?
Oh man, this is completely business right here, baby. This is Sammy, Darby, and Sting, brother. I gotta hear my song play at least 2-3 times. Once when Sammy when he comes out, and then when he gets the pin. I need my royalties, bro. Go ahead, man. You know what I mean? This is straight business here, brother. I got a horse in this race. Sammy. Ooh.
Hey man, Sammy is winning at life right now. Bag and Tay Conti got both the TNT championships. It's not a bad time to be the champ, bro. I'm with you on that one. I think Sting and all them are winning. Hell no. Hell no. He's winning at life right now. Like I said, I think they're winning at Revolution too. I think Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy are getting the dub. So are you guys going the same route on this one, or do you think there's any chance that the HFO manages to pull this out? And isn't that the longest fucking name to spit out?
I'm a big fan of Darby, so it's rare that I pick against him. So of course I was going that way to begin with.
Yeah.
So.
Same here, man. I think this one, like you said, there's not a whole lot at stake here, but we're gonna get some cool shit out of it. I think so. If anything,
I hope we just get a cool entrance.
I want to see Sting do another one of those off the top big old splashes thing,
Stinger splash.
I just want to see Sting move out there. Pretty much, that's the inner kid in me right there. Whatever Sting does, I'm with it, man.
There you go. More people shouting you out. Devin saying that's one of the best themes in the business, brother, man. You ain't lying. All right. Next match we got on the card, you've got I'm really looking forward to this one. Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston, dude. The back and forth with these guys has been so hard body. And the thing is, Eddie Kingston just don't give a shit. So I don't know, man. This is obviously, I would say, maybe next to the match with Moxley, hell, even more so in a sense. This might be the biggest match in AEW for Eddie Kingston. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go upset alert on this one, bro. I think it's time Eddie Kingston gets him that signature win in AEW, and I think it comes over Chris Jericho, and we see Chris Jericho go away to reinvent himself with the implosion of the Inner Circle. Where are you guys at on that one?
I agree with all the said points, and if there was one person to kind of get a victory over and to finally kind of like check that thing off the list, he's like a college basketball team that every time he faces a ranked team always comes up just short. Yep. At the end of the year when they're looking for who's going to make the NCAA tournament, it's like, well, you played tough, but you didn't win them. It's like he was always that guy, and I feel like what better time than now for him to get the dub. So especially with, like you had noted, with everything going on with Jericho, just Jericho even being who he is, he's so established and well known. It's not going to take anything away from him if he loses the match. So it makes the most sense yet again.
All right, J-Bone, who are you going with on that one? You think?
Hey, it doesn't sound like it's much of an upset at this point, does it, man? I'm going Kingston also, but hey, I don't like to go against Jericho, man. That's the Tom Brady of wrestling right there. But like you noted, man, he needs that big win. He hasn't had one, so he needs that big win in AEW, man. I think this is the one, and this is the time for it. So especially with Jericho, he's got everything else going on, man. The Inner Circle thing, I think it's a perfect time for Jericho, like you said, to go reinvent himself. And I think this is the time that Kingston gets that dub, man. About time.
I'm with it. Where are you at, TZ?
Yeah, man. Kingston's one of my good friends in this game, man. And he's been for 4 years now. And about time that he get his, man. He needs to win over someone credible, someone that it doesn't really hurt them if they lose in that company. You know what I mean? Other guys are still being built up. Jericho got nothing to lose taking a loss. And I think it can, Jericho likes to co-sign, is very, very adamant on co-signing people, giving the young guys or older guys, or be the one that kind of help put other people over in a way. So Yeah, man, that needs to happen, bro. And the inner circle can just that way. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Hey, and
Definitely.
who better to bring out the
Positive.
best than Eddie Kingston than Chris Jericho, right? If anybody's gonna do it, it's
You're
Jericho.
not lying. You're not lying. There's a reason why a lot of people call him one of the GOATs. Devin coming in the comments, he said Kingston is money. He forced me to go to Minnesota in the winter to go see Full Gear with one promo. I mean,
talk him right into the building.
As somebody who you guys had all kind of noted he wasn't able to kind of get that signature win and stuff, he got a huge pop when we were out in Chicago, man. The fans are definitely behind him. You know, no matter what the case is, he's got the fans, that's for sure.
He reminds us of our uncle, man. The uncle that, you know what I mean? He might not can't get right a lot of the time, but damn it, we love the hell out of him, bro. You know what I mean? That uncle, like, come on, stay out of jail, man. Stay out of jail. Yeah. You funny as hell. Stay out of jail, bro.
And you know he's just that dude that's just tough as shit, and he's going to fight you whether he wins or loses. And you're not lying, Devin. You talk about money on the mic. There's not very many people other than maybe our guest Monteasy who are more money on the mic as far as the wrestling business. But speaking about money, before we get to the next match, shout out to our sponsors, G3 Payroll Tax and all that good stuff. Check out our homie Jack Gerard. Like I said, if you got to get your taxes done, business taxes, all those things, check out G3 Payroll and Tax. The link to it is in the description. We appreciate you. They have just re-upped for the month of March, so they are sponsoring us all the way through this month and through WrestleMania as well. So again, shout out to G3 Payroll and Tax. All right. Now this match is very fucking interesting. Since we're going to WrestleMania, Devin, ring the fucking bell because you can't just ring it on me no more, bitch, because you're going to be there too. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited to see what he's going to do at Bloodsport too. But the next match that you've got on there is going to be Jon Moxley versus the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. And there's also the added thing that Danielson wanted Mox to join up with him. So what are your thoughts on this match in the build? And do you think that there's any chance that we could actually see them come together and can they coexist, as they say in pro wrestling?
This is a goodie here. This one's the one I can't call here, but I'm gonna make a decision because you asked me. This is yeah, man, I'll hedge bets, but you asked me, I'm gonna find a way to answer it. I'm gonna give you an answer, but let me just go through this real quick. These two guys, you have Moxley, who's just coming back from some personal issues, look good, looking great. Shout out to him, man. I hope him and the family doing great. I think I'm leaning towards Moxley in like some kind of roll up or some kind of quick schoolboy pin or something. I don't think he's gonna lay Bryan down for like a 1, 2, 3, like knock him out. But I think it'll be something quick. Somewhere it's kind of like a respectful, quick win that caught Bryan off guard or something like that. And Moxley will get the win, maybe like a cradle or something where they go at it. And then it'll be like a quick win, and then he earns Bryan's respect. I think that's what it's about. Is he already has respect, but he wants him to beat him. And I think that it'll be a really, really good match. I think it might be match of the night, and it'll or one or two, and it'll be a good match. But I think I'm leaning towards Moxley in a quick like small package or something like that. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Hey, man, I wouldn't be shocked at it because for those of you who don't know, make sure you check it out in the archives. I mean, we just had Jon Moxley's coach from Extreme Couture, who was also on Bloodsport, Gil Gordado, on with us recently, who I'm going to go see in Vegas when I go down to Double or Nothing. So, yeah, shout out to Gil, but I'm with you, bro. I'm interested to see it happen, but I think Moxley gets the win, but I'm still up in the air on whether I really wonder, are they going to put Moxley and Danielson in a group? That would be like an odd couple, but I'm like totally here for it just to see what the hell they do with it. And before I pass it off to you and Corey J-Bone, I would love to see Bryan Danielson in Bloodsport. Like, since people clearly are listening to this show and the match between Joel Bateman from Australia and Tommy Vendetta got made, maybe Tony Khan will hear this, or Josh Barnett. And yeah, I want to see this shit.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, whichever one you want next.
My prediction on this one. So I'm going the other way with you guys, man. Listen, I've said this on numerous shows. I like to go into business for myself when it comes. Let's make myself happy when it comes to this stuff, right? So I want to see
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Correct. There will be lots of blood in this match. There will be blood everywhere. It's going to be the match of the night. Mark my words. And this is going to be one of those Rocky Apollo Creed type of fights, man. These guys are going to tear each other apart. They're going to whoop each other's ass or they can't stand no more. I think Daniel's going to get the win. I think he'll pick up the win over Mox. But by the end of that fight, they're going to be sharing the ring, handshaking. It's going to be one of those big hug moments, those feel-good moments like we just watched a big, badass title fight. And the crowd's going to be on their feet. And yes, I think they are going to join forces and they're going to do some damage in AEW.
I could definitely see it playing out that way. Either way, I feel as though, to all your guys' point, it's going to probably more than likely be match of the night. I mean, just the two guys, you put them in there against each other, there's bound to be fireworks in that match. Unless it is something quick where it's just a roll-up. There's so many ways they could go with this one. I had said it like 4 or 5 times, basically with every one of these picks, that I go with where my mind sees that it makes the most sense. This one, there's no make the most sense because Moxley in his return and stuff like that, obviously you want to see him do well. Everybody wants to see him do well. And Danielson's just like not only a company favorite, fans are super behind him and stuff. So it's like, either one, fans don't want to see him lose at this given
I think
time.
they might want to see Danielson lose at this point. All those heads he's kicking in.
The bit of a heel turn, maybe, but I don't think so. I still feel as though they're behind him for the most part. Either way, it will be an amazing fight, but I think probably Mox with the return and everything else behind it, I think he's probably the one that gets it done.
All right. I like it. Well, last but not least for AEW Revolution, we've got your world title match. You've got the Hangman Adam Page, who, hey, you can check out our chat with him in the archives, or you've got him going to war with Adam Cole, baby, for the AEW World Championship. So, are we going to see Hangman drop the strap, or is Bebe taking a nap? Whoever wants first. Teasy, who you got?
Oh, okay. This is my prediction.
Okay.
Britt Baker retains. Adam Cole gets the belt. They go to Pittsburgh next week and both hold their belts in their hometown. Ooh. That's what I think. I think so.
Not mad at that.
I think going into Pittsburgh next week, where wins it in a dirty way. I think that now, as far as the tag team, I didn't get my prediction for Dragon. Dragon could win it, and then that could make the Bucks and Ivory go even more deeper, and then just have them have the belts for a while, that whole faction. But if not, I'd say Cole gets that belt. And then they have their homecoming in Pittsburgh, and they have their little celebration next week on Dynamite in Pittsburgh. That's what I think. I really have no horse in the race on this one. I hope it's a good match. But if I'm looking at it the way I'm looking at it, Page needed that big win. He got the big win. He got the belt. He beat his rival Kenny, and then this guy that I think that Cole just gets it. I think there needs to be some kind of belt switch that night. And
could you imagine if they all come out with the belt?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what I'm leaning towards that. I think next week in Pittsburgh, that's going to happen. I think it's leaning towards that. And then that just helps build the rivalry between the Bucks. And, you know what I mean? It helps add to the story of the jealousy and the rivalry and all that. So I think Cole wins it.
Yeah, I could definitely see now being the time. I don't know if Hangman's necessarily gotten the fanfare and stuff that AEW is necessarily hoping for. So Adam Cole could definitely be the one that comes in there and takes it, especially like your point leading into Pittsburgh and stuff next week. I could definitely see this one kind of being the case.
So you're going with Cole too, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So we got 2 for a new champion. Where are you at on this one, J-Bone?
You know, you just changed my mind, dude. Like, with all that being said, I'm not thinking, before going into this, I'm like, nah, I think Adam Page is gonna hold on to it. But you know what? That'd be a hell of a story, wouldn't it? And what better seeds to plant right there?
Hey, man.
Yeah, that would work. I'd love to see that, actually. I really would love to see that. And hey, I'm an Adam Cole fan, so I wouldn't be mad at it. So hey, it's a big pay-per-view. It's one of the, you know what I mean? So let's do it, man. I'm down to see that. So I'm taking Cole, man.
So
you changed my mind.
And it's the main event, the last night, the last fight of the night. You got to end it with a bang, right? And whatever way than to switch hands of the title.
So I'm with you, man. But here's my thing: if Adam Page loses like that, I just feel like all that they did with the cowboy shit and his build and all that stuff, I feel like it would kill him in a lot of ways. So I just don't know if I see him getting the belt off him only for this reason. I agree with everything that all of you guys said. But to flip the script, I could also see it being a thing where, since Adam Cole is the one who's in the main event for the title, and there's already like the dissension between the Bucks and Red Dragon, what if something happens in that triple threat match earlier in the night, and then when it comes time for somebody to help Adam Cole, maybe the referee's knocked out or whatever the case, and either something gets fucked up or the Bucks get all pissed off? Because we've also got to think, you've got Switchblade Jay White, who's been kind of, the way that he keeps, wheeling his way a little bit closer and closer. I think Page could keep the title, and I think that it could further sow those seeds in the other direction with, the dissension between the two spots. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. We've also got UFC 272 that's going down this Saturday that we're going to have to talk about with Jorge Masvidal and all that stuff. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you see when we come on here to drop our predictions for all those good things and all that. But Teasy, we've kept you for quite a while, man. If there's anything else you want to get out there and let anybody know, and hey, man, if nothing else, we definitely got to link up in Dallas, bro.
Dallas, man. There's some special things coming that I can't say yet that I'll be a part of, but I'll be there. Make sure you guys follow me at TZ Jones on everything. Make sure you guys hit me up at monteasytv@gmail.com for all bookings. Quick things I want to promote. Me and Swerve's new album, our third album. We work like wolves in the studio. Actually, I'm leaving to go to the studio so that's what I'm doing. You guys, the album Tears from Me and My Brother comes out on the 18th of this month. 15 more days until the album drops. We're gonna go put the wraps up on this project before you guys get it. Our third project, our best project. Shout out to my bro Swerve for picking up this rap thing and having me be his mentor and listening to me. He's the first artist to actually listen to me, and you see how it works. So I know what I'm doing. And shout out to everybody who's support the music, support the grind. And we have some music videos dropping. And make sure you start a project. Mickey Fax, my brother John Connor is on this project. We got my man Ace Cabin on this project. We have a lot of great talent on here, and executive produced by Juice with the Flatbush Zombies. And Emilio Sparks from MLW, the podcast, another podcast guru there himself. So make sure you guys tune into that. And my solo project, S-Sun 2, will be dropping the 6th of July. There is a lot. I'm working on this hand and foot, getting this ready for the people. And also, too, I don't know if you guys have heard, I've been saving this best for last. In many ways, I am dropping a wrestling record with the R&B legend Bullchild coming Saturday. I got the platinum selling artist to hop in the wrestle war with me, and we the R&B artist, and we have just done a wrestling classic. It will be on all streaming platforms this Saturday, the same day as the show for AEW, for the AEW Showcase show. And the song's called Pressure. It's fire. Everybody check it out. I will be performing it that night as well at the AEW show. So to get a platinum selling legend on a wrestling record and get him into our world is great. Make sure you guys support that. I'm trying to get more notable big names in the wrestling world with us. So that's kind of my job at this point, is to get everybody involved. And that's it, man. So make sure you guys tune in. There's a lot of work coming. And also, last thing, me and John Connor's project will be dropping too. I'm dropping like 4 albums this year. I'm busy, man. God damn, I need to. Oh, my Lord. Me and John Connor are dropping our album. Me and John Connor are dropping our album possibly sometime in May. So, you know, there's some things cooking. So make sure you guys check that out.
Flint native John Connor.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
John Connor is, I call him big, bro. He's scary in the studio, bro. I can't go. I just try to keep.
Hey, man. And that's all you can do some days.
We're doing. So, yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me on. Next time you want me on, hit me up.
Hey, man, much appreciated. Like I said, we're going to be out there in Texas, dog. We got to link up. I mean, hey, I would like for, you know, some that kind of she said stuff, but I mean, hell, let's go. Anyways, until next time, until the in-between time, we appreciate time, and we'll be back a little bit later with UFC 272 picks. Make sure you hit that damn subscribe button. Until next time in the in-between time, peace.